And we are live. What is up, everybody? Aaron the Dog back for UFC 299 O'Malley Vera 2. Aaron the Dog, it's a pay-per-view, so I am back, and with me to start, we might have a few other co-hosts join us along the way. We'll see. Is my one, my only, just my 2 cents. How you doing?
I am doing well, my friend. It is great to be here with Aaron, the grown-ass man dog.
The man dog.
Yeah, thank you for having me as always, and I'm excited to talk about 299. I don't want to, if you had planned to talk about this, I don't want to steal your thunder or anything, but I just wanted to take just a second to personally thank you for last week, because that fucking Zhang Li was a thing of legend. I don't know one fucking person that actually parlayed Eamon. That took some serious stones, and we were both on Loic and Biggie Boy, and that last weekend, that card was the best card I've had all year, and it is because of you that I'm now up, and I just want to say thank you, because that shit fucking rocked. So I'm hoping to replicate some of that success and have another big week here.
Yep, it was a 7,000 Zhang Li parlay last week. 11 for 11. Your boy was on the picks, so first perfect in a minute. But back to it. We're in the middle of like 11 straight weeks of cards here. So, let's go ahead and get into it. We're live from Miami, Florida. 14 fights on the card this weekend. It's a decent card. I mean, obviously they're trying to gear up for 300, which still I think 300 is not that great, but that's for another day. The prelims, I'm not gonna lie, not the best prelims until we get to the kind of past the first few fights, but I think a decent enough card. The fights that deserve to be talked about will be talked about ad nauseum. The fights that don't deserve to be talked about will be talked about, like Joanne Wood and Marina Moroz. Sorry. Marina Moroz, somehow only 32 years old. Seems like she's been in UFC forever, and just seems a little older than that. But Syndicate versus American Top Team. So good camps. Joanne Wood has had 2 feet out the door for a minute now. With Moroz, I think she's much more active. She's still much more in the prime of her career, but she's lost 2 straight as well, albeit to Jennifer Maia, who also beat Joanne Wood, and Karina Silva, who would probably do the same thing to Joanne Wood. So Joanne Wood coming off of a win against Luana Carolina, pretty ho-hum split decision. Probably heading towards the split here. I don't want anything to do with this fight, if I'm being honest. Marina seems like the clear side to me, but that means very little, and I think this kind of level of fight. So, stay away from it would be my best advice, but Marina would be my pick by a decision.
We are going to make this real quick. I am bringing back the coin. I don't give a fuck about this fight. Joanne Wood is a completely untrustworthy fighter. Dude, she could be winning this whole fucking fight and be beating Marina's ass and then get caught in an armbar. She doesn't even need to be taken down. She's been subbed, not being taken down several times. So I just don't care. Flip a coin. The coin will speak.
Oh, give it.
Heads is Joanne Wood. Tails is Marina Moroz.
All right, come on. Heads.
It is heads.
Yes.
JoJo Wood. JoJo's revenge. Let's fucking go. That's my pick.
Plus 185 dog for just 2 cents. Just my 2 cents to start out the card here.
God, dude, let me just say this. If you bet on this fight, you need to call 1-800-GAMBLER, because you have got a fucking problem, Bobo.
Yeah,
there are so many better spots to get greasy on this card. Like, why would you do that?
Did you see what the over-under is for this fight?
No.
The under, just what do you think the under 2.5 is?
I have no idea.
Plus 230.
Under is plus 230?
Yeah.
Holy shit. I don't know. That's kind of crazy, dude. Like I don't know. I don't
Things
want to talk about
happen,
the fight anymore.
injuries happen. People quit on stools, especially when they're married to the coach and they're out of the game.
Dude, lightning can strike twice too. We saw it with fucking Chirez. Like the same shit happened. Like Magomed knocked out Kutalaba twice in a row. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Gross.
Gross is right. Next fight on the card, CJ Vergara versus Asu Almabayev. Yeah, so just I guess once in a while when there's an elephant in the room, just point it out. It's the line for this fight. Yes, it's way off. Plus 425 on CJ Vergara. If you're playing the money line, I think that's the only side you go on here. The under 2.5 is only at minus 140. I don't hate that. Because Vergara does have some good power on his side. I think Azu could have good grappling. We don't know how great it is yet. Again, he has one submission over Ode Osborne, who, yes, Ode Osborne edged out a decision against CJ Vergara. CJ Vergara is just going to fight very close in a lot of fights. I get it. He lands a decent clip of his strikes, significant strikes, but the problem with a lot of his significant strikes is they don't look significant, for one. So if he's in a kind of a close decision where, and in his last fight, Salvador showed up to the scales on death's door, missed weight badly. And then they're like matching 24 significant strikes apiece in the third round of their fight. And he won a unanimous decision that easily could have went to Salvador, honestly, in the same way. So I've really not liked what I've liked seen out of Vergara either. Vergara running away in a lot of his fights. I mean, his movement is one of his biggest attributes, I guess. But yeah, Azu should not be minus 575 either. So this is where I'm kind of just left with. I'm expecting it to be a little greasy. The over 2.5 at plus 110. I think it goes to a greasy split, honestly. It would not surprise me at all. So I think the over 2.5 I'm interested in playing, if anything, with this at plus 110. I'll take God. You know what? I'll take Vergara. Why not?
Oh my God. I really thought you were gonna say Almabayev. I thought you were just gonna like grossly pick fucking Asu.
No, I'll take Vergara by split. Honestly, that is kind of how I see this fight going. I think Vergara is going to edge it out.
I don't hate it, man. Anybody that's on Vergara, I mean, you asked me, I think it's pass or pass, yes or yes, yeah, pass or pass. But if you are going to play a side, if you do have a gambling problem, I think you go with CJ. I think he's a better striker. I watched the tape back on Asu, not just the Ode Osborne fight, but some of his regional tape too, and he's just like a pot shotter. Like he wings a wild overhand. But the reason I'm not betting CJ is like his takedown defense. If you look at the statistics, it's 74%, but that is really misleading. Like he gave Cleison Rodriguez his only takedowns ever in the UFC. Like there's only 2 fights that he hasn't gotten taken down in. Now, like he did win those fights, but I think Asu Almabayev is better than both of the dudes that he beat like that. So I don't trust that he's not going to get taken down, and Almabayev is pretty good with his top control. So I think my pick is going to be Asu by like super boring lay and pray wet blanket. But dude, that line is fucking disgusting, and I was really tempted to bet CJ, so I don't hate that at all.
Yeah, honestly, the plus 2.5 is my side on that fight. I think that being plus 1 is kind of surprising.
Yeah, I can see that going to decision like more times than not.
All right, next fight on the card, the gross, greasy, heavyweight debutante fight of the night with Robles Despon versus Josh Parisian. Josh Parisian being wheeled in from Brighton, Michigan, to be sacrificed here. I mean, just looking at Josh Parisian's record, he's a pretty tough guy. He's been finished in 4 of his fights, 2 of which by submission, 2 by knockout. He got knocked out at the end of the 3rd round against Dante Almaze. And then back in the day, who did he get knocked out against? Tony Lopez. Yes, that Tony Lopez. with Robles, he's fought nobody so far. He's obviously got a very freak stature to him. He's got the good background as well. Good Taekwondo practitioner. 6'7", 87-inch reach. That doesn't even make sense.
You big Taekwondo freak.
Yeah, and you just see it's very quick finishes against nobodies. He's faced nobody yet. I mean, this is another spot where I think that if you're parlaying Robles, you're asking for trouble. Yeah. Lou, get your ass in here. Free blue betcha.
I might have to leave because I don't want to be around reprobates like that and have my life threatened. No,
yeah,
so
I don't want to get my
keep monks. No, I'm just playing. What's up, Lou?
Yeah.
What's up, baby boy?
Allegedly, he beat a guy who's 1-0. Allegedly. The under 60 seconds is going to be a stupid. But I can't fucking bet Josh Parisian, bro. Like, I don't think Josh Parisian's
well, no shit. Like, this is greasy, man. It is disgusting.
Lou, how should I send you the link? Whatever, I'll just send it in here. If you're not Lou, I won't let you in. All right, I'll just send it in the chat. If you're Lou, join it. If you're not, don't.
Yeah, no funny stuff.
Well, if you're not, I can see it, so it's fine. But yeah, like that's the thing here. Like we have a minus 345 clip. My big question is, do I want to include him in the jongleur or not? I will decide that later. But like, obviously, like you can live bet exactly. You can live bet Josh what Mick is saying right here. Don't bet him pre-flop at all, especially at plus 250. It needs to be in that Amin Zahavian number for me to even consider it. So at minus 345, I'll take Robles. He passes the test and probably finishes him in round 1 early on.
Right on. Yeah, what up, Lou? What up, Mick? Peace to the chat, of course. Yeah, dude, no thanks. Pass or pass. Are you excited, dude, to have like pretty much a pure Taekwondo practitioner like in the UFC now? He could end up being like
James Toney.
Yeah, dude.
Just on his back. How's
dude?
How's that reach when you're on your back?
No shit, man. Like, there is no way he has a ground game compared to Parisian. Parisian probably gets like tornado kick KO'd, and the Taekwondo like
tornadoes. It's UFC 299. We bring out the special guest and getting his 1 hour of utility time from the county jail. It's Lewis. Betcha.
Let me lock my door real quick.
Unmute yourself, my friend. Utility time from the county jail.
That's a real email I put in the chat, dude.
And mute the YouTube.
That's a real email.
Mute the YouTube because I can hear
Phil Jizz Fitzhorncamp is a real email.
I'm sure it is. Who is it? Are you watching this? Who I can hear it on one of yours.
Phil Jizz Fitzhorncamp is a real email.
Because I can hear you, Lou. You good? Okay.
I killed the TV. I killed the TV.
No,
as Jerry Blank once said, I stole the TV.
But
good. Wow, now in the day room, Lou, they're gonna spray you.
Yeah, good to see you, man. Do you have any thoughts on this fight before we move on?
I don't. Yeah, it's what is it? The big Taekwondo do by KO or Parisian like submission or GMP TKO, but greasy pass again. Call 1-800-GAMBLER, dude. This is not the one.
Yep, and there goes Lou. Looks like the warden came through.
I'm breathing a huge. I know you can't see it, but I'm breathing a huge sigh of relief. I was getting a little scared. I was getting nervous, and so I'm actually
we're back.
Oh God! Oh Christ!
Lou.
So I had an echo because I had YouTube up another tab. Yeah, simply put, the guy has 4 minutes of cage time.
Right. He's going. It's a guy with 22 fights,
and his round 1 is like,
and he's older.
Yeah, he's Yoel Romero like V2, dude. He's minus 175 round 1. So look, if you want to have don't bet this fight, but if you want to have a bet, Parisian like round 2 for the culture would like if Parisian holds him against the cage.
Yeah.
Dude, he's beating dudes in 4 seconds with no professional fights.
Right.
Imagine he drags him down and Parisia's fat self is just laying on top of him. He's not getting up, dude.
Like,
he's going to get choked.
Well, like, let me ask you this. Hold on. Let's before we move on. Let me ask you this. Line me this rando Despagne against Bettor. Like, line that fight and then tell me. And there's one other fight tonight I'm going to say that about when we get to the main card. Is he 700 against, like, what is he against Bettor?
No,
so,
I quit my job as a bookmaker if I have to line that.
Like pasty white dude. Like, and by the way, what would you line him against Chase Sherman? Sherman might be like,
you already know I'm parlaying Bobo Sherman on that one.
Dude, I'm betting Chase Sherman if he's in this fight. Like, let's fucking go, dude.
Didn't Chase Sherman just win like a bare knuckle MMA fight this weekend?
Hell, fuck yeah, Bo, probably. Dude, I think he did win.
He beat Alex Nicholson.
Chase Sherman wins every week when he goes to the bar and drags out the hottest wham in there.
he beat Alex Nicholson.
He's like, I'm the vanilla gorilla, babe. And they're like, let's go.
He whoops some dude's ass in the bar that thinks he's tough, and then the hottest chick just zip tractor beam.
But yeah, any other thoughts before we move on from this heavyweight freak show?
No, I can't really wait till the next fight, which is even somehow worse.
Somehow we go down in quality because we got Felipe Lins fighting. All right, so we'll probably have a pullout happening of the week of the fight unless this steroid cycle is on. No USADA anymore, so I'm expecting to see Lins in the best shape possible. For those reasons, that's why I'm going with him over Jan Cutelaba. For one, Jan Cutelaba is terrible. And for two, I think Felipe Lins is the better cheater of the two of these cheaters without USADA. By the way, there's no USADA anymore. Felipe Lins is going to look phenomenal. Hopefully, it's a first-round knockout. And if this goes past the first round, I don't really want to see the fight. Let's go to Lou for the start of this one.
I think it's hilarious. So, like, we still don't have all the props out, but the under 1.5 here is minus 135, and then under 2.5 is minus 400, which if I'm just looking at the number, tells me they expect Cutelaba to be completely useless at 8 minutes in this fight.
I expect them both useless at 8 minutes of the fight.
I mean, Lins is like totally more skilled. I don't even think that's.
Well, yeah, I mean, most
debatable. It's not debatable that he's the more skilled fighter, and Cutelaba, like, you want to talk about like guys that are front loaded. This is the most front loaded fighter in the history of the UFC. Like, literally, this is like he gets in the cage and he blows his load doing the intimidating thing, like stomping over to the guy during the intros.
Yeah. Why aren't the props out on this fight?
Because it was the last fight made.
Okay, was it? That's right.
And also they know that like all they want to do is hammer the under. And it's like, so look, I'm going to go with you. Like, I think Lins, like, again, Cutelaba's win condition is meh, 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 and Lins folds in like a minute. And if Lins doesn't fold, I'm not sure how he doesn't win this. Like, if this fight gets out of the first round, I'm not sure how Lins isn't 98%. Like, he should be minus 900 outside of the first round. Even if he got 10-8'd, he should be minus 900 at that point.
And I feel like Lins has a win condition in the first round as well.
Yes, but he's 100% in the second and third rounds of this fight.
And no USADA.
I don't know, man.
I think USADA.
I think y'all are way too high on Felipe Lins. He is a fucking jobber. He is a dude. Anything you're saying about Cutelaba, you can heap that same kind of jabronidom on Lins. This is a dude that got knocked out by fucking Tanner Bozer, and Cutelaba smoked that motherfucker. Like, I'm not betting Cutelaba, but dude, it is weirding me out. Like, the confidence in Lins here. Like, he fucking sucks, dude.
Who said any of us are betting this?
Please don't. He's old. He's chinny. he has 100% takedowns against who? Grisham, Saint, like OSP, like nah, man. Give me Kutalaba. I think he's a better grappler. I think he hits harder, and I think Lynn's just fucking sucks. But yeah, I would never bet this fight.
2 cents. Just so you know, I still have PTSD from my Lynn's round 2 KO prop against Prochnow, where like the ref told him if you hit him one more time, it's over.
Yes.
And then he like did nothing for 2 minutes. He's like, he's got to fight back. And then he's like, cool.
Dude, you're still in the jungle.
I'm like, wow, this was a great plus 750. And then he's like,
you're willing to.
I refuse to engage because Marcin Prochnow is way too dangerous.
You're Willem Dafoe on
asshole.
You're Willem Dafoe on his knees as the last chopper is leaving as Charlie Sheen.
When you hear the ref say, if you get hit one more time, dude, this is like the Menafield Ed Herman fight where he's like, if you get kicked in the leg one more time, I have to stop it. And then Menafield decided to not kick him in the leg the entire 3rd round.
Yeah,
dude, when you hear the ref say it, just do it once, bro. The ref is telling you, hit him once and you win. No.
Any further thoughts, 2 cents before we move on?
Absolutely not. No, thank you, sir.
Yeah, so plus 100 on Lynn's, minus 120 on Jan. I think the line should be reverse, but
I'm still here, just smoking a cigarette because I never got my smoke.
No, please. Yeah, you're fine. You get your free pack of cigarettes in prison or however that works. I don't know.
They give me 3 minutes.
Nice, 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Yeah. Well, you'll probably have more than 3 minutes here because Michelle Pereira versus Michelle Olajaychuk, formerly Lord Juicer, now known as Huzar, taking on Dimoldar. This is going to be a good fight. I think it's going to be a good old-fashioned slobber knocker, JR. Back and forth. For Pereira, he's definitely the more well-rounded of the two fighters. I think if he'd be smart to use the grappling. The Pereira submission definitely is something that's live just because with Olajaychuk, that's what's always going to be the big weakness. I also could see them kind of standing and throwing down. That obviously is the best way for Olajaychuk to have a chance to win. But I do think even on the feet, Pereira should be the better guy over the span of 15 minutes. The power of Michelle Olajaychuk always a factor. But I think Michelle just has more ways to win. BMF, better MMA fighter. Michelle Pereira wins this fight. I don't know if he gets a finish or not. I think probably I'll give him a submission round 2. So, yeah, I think this goes a little later into the fight, though. 2 cents.
Yeah, don't listen to me on this one because I'm a huge Demolidor stan. But it is because I think he's a good fighter, and I think he's mostly gotten past some of his early hiccups and shit. But yeah, he's more fleet of foot. I like his footwork better. I think they're the same speed. He might even be a little bit faster. I think Olajaychuk is going to be.
I'd say he's definitely faster.
He's going to be doing a lot of like chasing and like over swinging, and I see Michelle pull countering him quite a bit. And yeah, I think he is the better grappler. I think he has the submission upside, and I think that just a little bit better fighter overall. But I am super biased, and I did parlay Michelle early on when he was like minus 142. He's in a 2-piece with another fighter that I'm a goat's biased towards. But yeah, give me Michelle decision, possible KO.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like the line of this fight too. Lou.
Yeah, we'll make it 3 for 3. I've never been like super impressed with Olajaychuk. Like his boxing's good. Look, Pereira at 185. We've only seen him in one fight. I love Petrosky, man. Like I really do. And he just, Petrosky just murdered him. Like literally came out, and I'm starting to wonder, like, so, dude, Pereira was like the most massive 170 guy ever, and he's massive at 185, and now he's not making huge weight cuts. And like, look, I want to use one of your terms, Aaron, because I'm not on Twitter right now, as you can see behind me. So yep. I don't hear the echo chamber.
But makes you better.
But like, dude, even as recently as Pereira's last fight, you have all these fucking amateurs talking about, well, Pereira does dumb shit. He does backflips. Dude, he hasn't done that in like 6 fights, man. Like Pereira, like started taking his career seriously, and like, when's the last time Pereira did stupid shit in the cage? Like, it's been a long time. Like, the dude's supremely talented. Like, when I say he's supremely talented, I mean he could fight for a title. Like, he really is well rounded, and at 185, where I don't think his cardio is compromised, I think he's a stud. We're gonna get to a point. I'm not comparing him to like Makhachev, but like, remember when Makhachev was against Oliveira and he was like minus 150, and it's like, well, we're never gonna see this line again.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this line is like a fucking gift, dude.
It is, Lou, and you're pulling at my heartstrings, but like, you're right about a lot of this. Everyone's like, dude, he has no cardio. He's winning all these decisions against fighters.
Like again, I'm just talking a betting perspective, not like a technical breakdowns perspective. Olajechek at best wins like a decision here, and it's like 29-28. Pereira has the potential to look like a minus 800 favorite here. Like, he could, like, if one guy's going to be a dominant fighter in this fight, it's Pereira. Now, last thing I'm going to say that's important, because you brought up the takedowns. Pereira is not somebody who, A, has shown he is going to go 15 minutes of takedowns, and B, wants to. But mixing them in to throw Olajechek off is brilliant. And I gotta shout out my buddy, friend of the show, friend of every show, Cody Brundage, who took Olajechek down immediately and then was an idiot. But Brundage had him put away. Like, took him down and was ground and pounding, and then he's like, I don't like this anymore.
Pereira's takedown accuracy is better than Olajechek's takedown defense. And Pereira can get has gotten multiple takedowns, and
because Pereira
and chaos.
And that's because Pereira's selective. Like, dude, Pereira's gone for takedowns after a 5-piece combo. And then he's like, yep. So I like Pereira here quite a bit. I'm not as strong on the sub. I'm not strong on the finish. Olajechek's kind of weirdly tough. And also, like, Pereira, I kind of feel like he's the guy, like, if he wins the first 2 rounds, he's cool, just like, yep, stay out of trouble, win the fight. But I think this line is a fucking gift, dude.
Yeah, I do too.
He can look like the biggest favorite ever here.
Yeah, no, I agree. So yeah, all 3 of us in agreement there on Michelle. Minus 148 currently. Zhongli, a parlay contender for sure. Honestly, I've been trying to look at the Zhongli a little bit. It's hard to find that 5th spot, so maybe talking to you guys, I'll figure it out as we go. But next fight, Pedro Munoz versus Kyler Phillips at bantamweight. This is a really good fight. It's extremely, I think it's much closer than the line indicates for sure. I do think Munoz can put on a good pressure with his striking, start to break down Kyler. I'm not completely sold on Kyler's cardio for one. Kind of the stick and move striking of Kyler either, I think, is very unreliable. And yes, I get it. He has 1 loss in kind of his run so far, but I just feel like he's kind of, I'm just not extremely sold on Kyler Phillips, I'll be honest. So the line's I have no interest in betting it at all. I get that the people are playing Munoz out there. I think it's the correct play at this point. But, yeah, I don't know. I think this fight is another fight that gets to like kind of a greasy split. I feel similar to it like I do to the flyweight fight earlier with Azu. I guess, dude, I don't know. Give me Pedro Munoz by decision. Like, sure. Why not? Lou.
February 12th, 2022. Round 3 submission against Rojo, 35-1. That's the day I was like, thank you, Kyler Phillips. But I'm not a loyal hoe. It's what have you done for me lately? And he got popped and he withdrew from fights.
More USADA.
Here's my problem with this fight. I kind of feel like Phillips can frustrate him for the first 2 rounds and just be like to dance on the outside, like
Okay.
because what does Munoz like to do? He wants to like let's throw
Walk you
down,
down and throw down.
and I don't think Phillips is going to give him that fight. Now,
Yeah.
I feel as a gambler that when you have a fight that's going to go, and there's 2 other fights we're going to talk about tonight that are like this. When you have a fight that's going the distance I mean, it's this over is what, minus 270, minus 2.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't even think that's wide enough. Like this fight's going the distance should be like minus 500 here. So to your point, I don't want to bet Munoz.
Minus 215 now.
I'm never betting Phillips.
Right.
But I don't want to bet Munoz. But do I want to bet Munoz after round 1 when it's like plus 450? You better fucking believe I do. Because I think round 2, I think Phillips wins round 1 at like an amazingly high clip, just dancing on the outside. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Munoz wins round 3 at a pretty high clip.
Mm-hmm.
So am I willing to take plus 450 on 1 round of this fight? Yes. Mm-hmm. And if anybody's going to win moments, who's it going to be? Mm-hmm. It's going to be Munoz. So what are we judging on now? We're judging on moments. We're judging on damage. Like Munoz could land 2 big shots in round 2, even if he doesn't drop Phillips. And Phillips might land 90 strikes where it's just pitter patter shit. And Munoz, at least on 1 or 2 judges' cards, I don't know what the plus 3.5 is on Munoz, but that's probably like, I'm going to look it up while Jeff 2 cents goes, but like, I can't, like, I don't think this is like domination by, like, I can say safely, Phillips doesn't win all 3 rounds of this fight. I will say that.
Mm-hmm. All right. 2 cents. What do you think?
So I bet Munoz a little earlier this week, a few days ago. I got him at plus 205 actually before it dipped back down. So I like that. It's only a quarter unit. I bet it purely on principle with the experience of like a vast experience advantage. And the fact that he's really tough and doesn't like really go away, like Lou said, like he's gonna probably win the 3rd round. What I'm worried about is him getting robbed. This fight is screaming split decision. And yeah, I like the line that I got on Munoz. I probably wouldn't bet him at this point. And I'm having a little bit of buyer's remorse, but I think the leg kicks could potentially make a big difference against a fighter that likes to do a lot of electric sliding and dancing around. And yeah, like Lou said, like the bigger moments, like Pedro probably does hit a little bit harder. And he is a tough dude. So yeah, I like him as a dog. Like I know he's going to fight for my money. I'm worried that he's going to get screwed. The pick is obviously Munoz, and I like that as a value bet. But like, yeah, like I get the upside. Kyler's younger. He's probably, got a little bit more to offer the UFC. But I don't know, man. I wouldn't be surprised if Pedro gave my old bet lesson. So yeah, let's fucking go, Munoz.
Yeah, down to plus 180 now. So a little bit of that sharp money along with 2 cents coming in on Mr. Munoz.
Yeah,
Phillips.
please do not include me in with sharp nothing. So yeah, thank you for that caveat.
Just my 2 Gambas.
Yeah, exactly.
Nap.
All right, we got
minus 220 is ridiculous, by the way, for this 3.5.
Yeah, minus 220 for a 3.
But you know what? That's kind of like a good parlay piece, dude. Like I kind of feel like that's a safe. I'd rather bet him plus 3.5 minus 220 than Phillips minus 220. Like
that's fair. Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. All right. Next fight on this weird ass prelims. Matthias Gamrot, also known as Scamrot, against Rafael Dos Anjos, who's like, I'm going back down to 155 again. I'm just gonna keep sacrificing a bunch of my body and then going up, going down. Everything's fine here. Don't worry. I just took a beating at 39 years old against Vicente Luque. But Scamrot is not going to hurt him with any striking. He's just going to go in there and pick his ankles over and over again and push him against the cage with a leg up in the air. And yeah, Gamrot's going to probably gamer him out. And yeah, fight's probably going to a decision. It's probably just going to grapple him up. It's not going to be very satisfying. And Scamrot will continue to be one of America's favorite fighters ever. The legend continues. 2 cents.
Yeah, the pick is going to be Scamrot, aka fucking Fuckrot, aka Fuck Nuts, aka cram stuff up his butt rot. He's gonna do what you said, man. He's gonna ankle pick him over and over. He's gonna be diving for ankles and just rat him. Probably do a decision. He might knock him out. My heart is gonna be with RDA, man. I cannot fucking stand Gamrot. If there is any justice in this world, this malfactor beneath me will remain where he deserves to be, and RDA will win. But that's probably not going to happen. Lou will be released, and the people will rejoice, and Monk will be endangered again, and no one's going to fucking care. And Gamrot's probably going to win, and everyone's going, yay, Gamrot, he can fucking win a title. But I hope that doesn't happen, but it probably fucking will.
Yeah, Gamrot. For us to Lou, are you on the RDA train?
I agree with everything he said, including how much danger Monk is in currently.
Mm-hmm.
No one cares. No one gives a fuck. It's unbelievable.
Dustin Willing.
Monk cares. Monk definitely cares of the danger he's in right now. Yeah, I'm not betting this. Like, Gamrot's decision is Gamrot's decision is so likely. By if there was a bet that this fight will be I had one bet last week. You know what that bet was? The Pedro Petrino over 1.5. Yep. And I just after the first 5 minutes, I just stood on my couch and I'm like, bore me to death, guys. This is overs, gang, stand up. And this is the most predictable and boring fight on the card. You guys know me well enough to know I don't parlay minus 400 fucking shit. It's not the way I bet. Gamrot's pretty safe here, but instead of doing that, how about I don't bet and I just root for RDA, and that's my analysis. Look, is RDA the way better mixed martial artist? Yes. Is he gonna get Is this line is wide because of the Luque fight? That's the fucked up thing.
And because he's my age, it's if this was RDA 5 years ago.
But if the Luque fight doesn't happen the way it does with all the takedowns, then I feel like maybe Gamrot's minus 250. This is ridiculous.
Minus 470 right now.
And I know Olivas and his cronies are you have to bet RDA here. It's that's why they set the line this way. So you guys can bet RDA.
Right.
Don't just root for him. You don't need to bet this fight.
Nope.
And even the over is the hell is it, minus 270 or okay. So again, if you're one of these people that's compelled to bet,
the over is minus 330.
Okay, well, I'd rather bet the over 330 than the minus 455 on Gamrot.
Minus 470.
And if you lose, by the way, if you lose the bet, it's because RDA locked in some fucking arm triangle, and you're happy to lose your bet that way. Okay, because Gamrot's not finishing him.
No,
unless he bores him to death. RDA taps to boredom. That's the only way he wins by finish. RDA's this fight's the worst. He's this fight's the worst, and I'm retiring from the sport. Round 2. I can't. If he's I can't anymore with this crap. That's how Gamrot wins by finish.
2 cents. What do you think?
Sorry, Scamrot. I got to be like you two.
Hey, 2 cents. Any other thoughts?
I would never. I root for all just in winning and losing fights, not in life. But just as far as UFC and winning and shit is concerned, I wish for all bad things to happen to Gamrot. I hope RDA locks up some crazy submission. But yeah, Gamrot will win a decision. That fuck. And Lou will be released, and you all can just fucking cheer.
I don't know if you guys ever watched Moicano's shit.
Occasionally.
But he was funny as shit this week because he broke down that fight. He's like RDA, who barely beat me. and all they edited in was his clips of him knocking down RDA in the fifth. It's really funny. He's and I train with Gamrot and I root for him. His take on Parisian is better. He goes, Parisian is fat fucker. But his breakdown of the RDA fight is RDA barely beat me.
Well, All right, we'll move on to this next fight. Katlyn Chookagian, Sir Minarara, whatever. Taking taking on me. Sorry, I don't care, man. Taking on Macy Barber. Go to the Bettor Cappers for whatever Caitlin's new married name is. Honestly, from what I've been hearing about Katlyn Chookagian's personal struggles, I feel really bad for her. But I also am not sure if she's in the proper mindset to be fighting at this point or not. She's trying to go to fighting to escape her problems and just really kind of concerning things. On the other side, it's Macy Barber who gets frustrated at the slightest throw off and straightforward hand-to-hand combat with a little bit of wrestling. If there's lateral movement involved, if there's pressure from the other fighter, she starts to kind of break. So old Katlyn Chookagian, I definitely believe in her in this situation. It's just that she's been away from the fucking cage for a little bit now. I don't know if she was retired or if she was just taking a break to try to have a family. But either way, I feel like Macy Barber's the more focused fighter here, training with the better competition, 10 years younger. Should be able to, kind of take control of this fight, maybe mix in some cage control and occasional wrestling. But I'll take Macy Barber in this spot. I just don't trust Katlyn Chookagian, Surmana Rana, whatever her name is. I don't trust her at this point in her career. Lou. Or is it 2 cents? I don't even know. Whatever, Luke, go.
The pride of Quakertown, Pennsylvania, Katlyn Chookagian, who, by the way, if you've ever been to Quakertown, PA, which is 20 minutes from me, she is the median of every woman in Quakertown, Pennsylvania. Meaning I'd hit it, she's fixable, and I would hate myself. So here's the problem with Barber in this spot. If you look at Barber's stats and look at Barber's history, aside from the Rivas fight where she looked fucking great, Barber's not some high volume person. She tries to be a bully.
Mm-hmm.
She tries to, and this is kind of a shitty stylistic matchup for her because Chookagian historically, look, I can give you her stats and what they say are strikes landed. And I think that we all know that these stats are probably not very accurate with Chookagian strikes landed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like strikes hyad
Right.
or what they're measuring, not strikes landed. But the thing with Chookagian is even you talk about her personal life, whatever, the way she fights, man, she takes, even against Fioro, who I think is good, she takes no damage. She's constantly throwing shit to the point where in a round where nobody does anything, they're Chookagian wins those rounds because she's just throwing for 5 minutes. And I feel unless Barber lands bombs here, Chookagian very easily steals at least 1 or 2 rounds. If the split decision here should be plus 105. Because I feel that's safe. And it's a Chookagian fight who hasn't knocked anybody out since the first bar she ever went to as a 21-year-old. She just doesn't knock people out. She doesn't finish people. You're talking about the takedowns from Barber. Chookagian's takedown was pretty good. First and second level is pretty good. This is just going to be on the feet, and it's going to be boring as fuck. But if you're going to give me just from a betting perspective, forget about my bias. If you're giving me a humongously low volume, boring 15-minute striking fight, system play is the dog. And Chookagian finds a way to win these fucking bullshit fights. So I'd rather bet the split decision I haven't even looked at it. Dude, the lowest split decisions I ever see are plus 350. If we get plus 350 for this, it's a gift. It might be plus 250. And it's still it's the value side. It's 80%, so it's the value side. Give me Chookagian by split decision here, man. For Quakertown, PA.
Fair enough. I have been to Quakertown, PA. I agree with everything you said. Just my 2 cents. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I have spent plenty of time in Lancaster County in fucking Lidditz, Pennsylvania. I'll have you know. But
Look, tits now, Trebek.
dude, fucking Barber pass. Give me Barber. She got a fatter donkey. It's not really a donkey, but she has a better booty, and she's younger and she hits harder and she'll win the big moments. But yeah, I mean,
You don't believe
like.
it?
Yeah, that's all I got. Because like stylistically, yes, Chikagan, she wins. She can win a fight against a predictable, like, you know, Terminator style fighter. But with her not being in a good headspace, nah. I thought about maybe betting her as the underdog, and I get it. But nah, dude, no, thank you. Barber, no way I touch it.
Well, you just talked me out of Barber and the Zhongli, so thanks a lot. Minus 205.
Don't you put that on me, Aaron the dog.
Plus 170 on Chikagian. Barber's out of the Zhongli now.
Zhongli doesn't need this fight in his parlay.
Yep, it's out of there. Don't worry, it's gone. Featured prelim time.
Well, maybe he'll knock her out now. God bless America.
Yeah, I know she is. Featured prelim time, heavyweight contenders possibly here. Curtis Blades, Jalton Almeida. It's been, I think this has been scheduled for like a year now. Curtis Blades got injured last second with whatever, and Jalton Almeida just had to take down Derek Lewis 795 times. So there's that. Curtis Blades doesn't have great takedown defense. And he's coming off of an ankle injury, so I don't think that will help his takedown defense either. I'm a little curious to see how he responds to wrestling, but for me, I think Jalton has to get this done relatively early in the fight to really have a good chance. I do think if Blades is able to get control of the wrestling first and wear down Jalton, I could see him kind of getting the ground and pound TKO finish along the way here. I think whoever wins this fight could win kind of dominantly. So I like the Jalton Almeida side personally. I think that he can have the advantage and get this fight to the ground and submit Curtis. But would not surprise me if Curtis ends up knocking out Almeida. So I think Almeida getting a wake-up call wouldn't surprise me at all. But I got Almeida here. I think he's going to be able to kind of just keep this fight at a pace that Curtis struggles at, especially coming off the injury. So, and off of a pretty bad knockout before that back in April. So Curtis has been kind of deaded quite a few times now. I don't trust Blades. I trust Almeida more. So I'll take Almeida. 2 cents.
Oh God, this fight is so fucking greasy, man. I really don't want anything to do with it. I was kind of tempted to bet Curtis, but there's things I like and don't like about Almeida. It's weird because like I was really impressed with the Rosenstrike performance, but then I was really unimpressed with the Lewis fight. It's like, dude, Lewis, man, like I know he knocked Curtis out. I know he is a crazy hammer, but dude, he is one of the worst nails I've ever seen. When Lewis is outmatched, Bubba, he looks for the back door, and I mean quick. And the fact that Almeida couldn't put him away when he had him in really compromising positions, I just don't want to bet Almeida or back him. But Curtis, I don't know. I have a feeling Curtis might win this fight, but I just don't trust it enough. So I'm just going to be just a big old pussy and pick Almeida. But if I was going to bet a side, I'd bet Curtis, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to pass. I'll pick Almeida. He's you know, I don't know, man. But Curtis has a lot more experience overall. But yeah, I don't like that ankle injury, and I don't like some of the fight IQ from Curtis. I really don't like, and Almeida, I don't know, man. I think I don't know. I could see him get.
I like Almeida more. I feel like I like Almeida more than a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm not as high on Almeida as a lot of people are. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm a believer. So, Lou, what's your thoughts?
This is the trickiest fight for the week for me, especially because, and I hate fights like this from a betting perspective because you have a line that's close, and I think whoever wins looks minus like 800 in hindsight.
I agree.
I think one of two things happens. If you like the Blade side, his decision at plus 300, I like it. Like, if you like the Blade side, this is probably a 15-minute boxing match where Blades lands like 18 strikes around and Almeida's getting stuffed and Blades does nothing of note and wins like a very booed decision.
If this stays on the feet, I think Curtis can knock him out for real.
But if you like Almeida, and I like, here's the thing, you know, Almeida is going to be undersized, which people just harp on the same stupid shit like every week. Like this, I don't miss being on Twitter for this kind of reason. Like they're harping on the wrong things. I don't care if Almeida's. Do you know who's like 30 pounds less than Blades? Micah Parsons. Mm-hmm. Could Micah Parsons take Blades down by just running at him and blast doubling him? Dude, he'd run him through the fucking cage. He's a better athlete. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Almeida's just a better athlete than Blades. On top of the fact that, like, look, the dudes that have troubled Blades the most and knocked them out, Lewis, Pavlovich, these are dudes. I get that they're like huge dudes with massive power, but I can't belie the fact that Blades just does not come up big in big moments, man. And like, oh, Pavlovich knocked him out because he's a bigger dude. Pavlovich knocked Blades out because he fought the -3 IQ game plan of all time. That's why he got knocked out. Mm-hmm. Because he didn't even try a takedown. He's like, no, I'll box this. I'll box Drago. What can go wrong? Like, so I don't agree with you that Blades' takedown defense is, we just don't know. Like, it's not I disagree with you more than like we just don't know. But the way Almeida fucking explodes into people, I don't care about the 30-pound weight difference. The way Almeida explodes, Blades is going down. Brock Lesnar's going down. Like, anybody's going down the way Almeida fucking blast doubles you.
I agree.
And what does Blades do? He wilts and he fucks up. So, like, Almeida's shown me zero that he's going to fold in a fight. Blades has shown me plenty of times he goes to the Getting store and he's like, I'm getting out. Like, I'm done. I'm going to use that again at some point. The Getting store from No Country for Old Men. You guys are movie people, allegedly. Sure. Where'd you get that gun? The Getting store. Mm-hmm. And that's where Blades is going. He's going to the Getting Out store to get the fuck out if Almeida lands like any damage. So if you like Blades, I'd say decision. But I'm with you on Almeida. And this is going to be one of those I've been drinking all day and I'm up from Dutch soccer bets where I'm like, fuck it. Almeida. Also, from a prop perspective, I'm doing my prop show tomorrow. The Almeida round 1 KO is crazy priced. It's like 16-1. Like,
yeah, that doesn't make sense.
He can't ground. Everybody's like, no, he's going to sub him. Why can't he ground and pound him?
Definitely.
I don't. For 16-1 is crazy. It's a crazy price for that number.
Yeah, I think it's just a lot of overcorrection to that decision against Lewis, which I'm less bothered by than it seems like the rest of the world.
Every time Just My 2 Cents said Lewis, I'm like, is he talking shit about me? Lewis. Because he's the only Lewis. It's like my dad. My person
Lewis.
Only person that calls him by my full name. Lewis. Bettor.
Lewis. Bet you.
Lewis gamble ya.
Yeah, gamble ya.
Lewis wager you.
Just wait till you hear the new gimmick. You guys are gonna fucking love the new gimmick. You're gonna. It's from my deranged mind, and even for me, I'm like, one of my personalities is like, this is brilliant.
Then the other 4 are like, oh boy.
The other 4 are like, this could work.
No, that's even more concerning. We're on to the main card now. Starting out at bantamweight, Petr Yan, Yadong Song, -110. Almeida is now the favorite. -112. Almeida is the favorite. -108. To Mr. Blades. Petr Yan, Yadong Song here. Song Yadong, whatever you prefer at bantamweight. This is, I think, going to be a very, very close fight. I think it'll be very competitive, mostly on the feet, but I could see some wrestling from Yadong in this spot. feels like something I've said in a lot of Yudong fights is he's going to finally show the grappling and wrestling more. But I think he would be wise to do so here. I think he could have some real opportunities. But I do think even if it's on the feet, this could be pretty competitive, relatively close. Jan has been due kind of a bounce back for a while here, but I'm just not quite sure. At this point, I could easily see him kind of ending up in like flying out his contract and moving on to somewhere else. Honestly, I just don't know his fit with the UFC. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's quite there, and I'm not sure if it's ever gonna. I think at this point he might be kind of. We've been talking about some checkouts. He might be another one who's a little checked out. So I imagine towards Song Yudong in this spot. But I think it's going to be a very close fight. It's closely lined for a reason. Good fight. So these two have been meaning to fight for a while. So I'll take Song, but I get the onside completely.
Yeah. I think it's my turn.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not betting this fight. I mentioned there's a couple of fights with line value, or like I don't think we're getting any edge. I think this is one of them. I think whoever wins, this is another like could get like this is another split.
Yeah.
Look, man, I'm of two minds here in that this is a step down for Jan, and that this is a super winnable fight. And the other side of it is that we haven't seen Jan fight a 3-round fight in like 5 years, and like I don't know, like Jan just has this predilection. Like he gives away the first round to download data. I don't want to bet a guy at minus 118 who has to win 2-3. So I'll pick Song Yudong solely because I think he's being gifted the first round.
Yeah.
In a fight that's going to be like just razor fucking thin margins. Like every round's going to be razor thin margins. Like, but you look at the odds and like they know, dude. You look at the over, they know. Like this is like the epitome of the most unbettable fight ever. Like you're not even getting a good price to bet Song Yudong here. No. So like, and if you bet either guy by decision, you're getting like a fucking terrible price. There's no split decision. It's gonna be like there's no bet here unless you're betting like fucking Yudong flying toe hold round 3.
Right.
You're not getting like good equity on any bet you make.
No.
So to me, this is just like I like Peter Yan, man. I do. I hate Aljamain Sterling. So like I just like watching Yan fight. I hope he kind of comes out of this fucking shit. I'm just gonna watch it as a fan. But dude, I don't know how anybody in the community could possibly, any capper could possibly have a strong lean one way or the other.
Yeah, I agree.
Just it's that kind of fight, dude. This is just a like, okay. This is the fight where like you lose and you're like, I got robbed. It's like, did you?
Right.
Did you?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, no, I'm just edging. I'll go with Song.
I'll edgelord you.
I like it. 2 cents.
Well, anyone that knows anything about me knows what a fucking shameless Jan stan I am. And if you thought that I wasn't going to bet Jan, you're fucking drunk, probably drunker than Lou is right now. And I don't know if that's possible. So, no, I'm just kidding. Well, whether it is or not, it doesn't matter. So, yeah, this is I alluded to this a little earlier. This is the second half of my super duper biased kiss my fucking hairy white ass parlay. Jan is anchoring at it. So that's Michelle, the fitness consigliere, and Jan plus 190. I don't really care what anyone's read is or whether they think Song is better. I think Jan is better. And yeah, he is due for a bounce back spot. And I do think he's a better striker. And I think he's a better fighter overall. And yeah, I mean, I think people will forget that Song's been knocked out a couple times before. And it wouldn't surprise me if Jan knocked him out as well. But yeah, I don't really care. It's Jan all day as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, again, super biased and no one should really listen to me anyway.
Yep, I'm not listening. I don't know who you picked.
Jan. I bet Jan and picked Jan. So
no, yeah, I'm not listening. Minus 105. to Mr. Song Yadong. And yeah, I mean, it's properly lined. I think this is like one of the more accurately lined fight cards in a while. Minus
It,
115.
it is. This is actually, but all my bullshit aside, this is a fucking sweet fight, and I do like fights like this. Jan is my boy, but Song is a good fighter, man, and this should be a fun one. And I think it's gonna be close, man. I think these are two guys who both take a lot of pride in their striking and how badass they are, and I think they're both gonna stand and just fucking trade for 15 minutes. And I think we get a treat, whoever wins.
Yeah, no one's going for takedowns here, dude.
They better fucking not, dude.
I could see Song doing it.
By the way, fun fact. Haven't had a drink since 2 Fridays ago, so not drunk right now.
Well, goddamn, dude, that just fucks up my joke, dude. It wasn't very good anyway, but no, that's good, man. I'm glad to hear that.
Honestly, me being sober right now is like plus 900, so like fair play.
Yeah, mazel. But next fight on the main card here at 170, Gilbert Burns ready to deliver a veteran lesson to Jack Della Maddalena. Jack coming off of 2 straight split decisions. The last one coming against Kevin Holland, where I feel like Kevin Holland more lost that fight than Jack won it, but whatever. Kevin Holland we'll be talking about very soon because he's very good. Yeah, with Gilbert Burns, I mean, he's another guy who looks like he's kind of hit his ceiling at 170. The Bilal Muhammad fight did kind of expose some worries, I think, in just Gilbert's gas tank as he's approaching 37 and a half years old. And that's kind of my big worry. I think Jack can kind of remain much stronger as the fight goes. And I think wins the later rounds in this fight. I think Gilbert early on is, where I give him more of an edge. But, I do think that I can't pass up on Gilbert in this spot and the level of competition he's losing to and fighting against in some of the level of competition he's beating. I just think it's a much higher level than Jack Della's face or Jack Della's at. So I'm not the biggest Jack Della believer, man. I think Gilbert can, definitely rock him, hurt him on the feet. In the grappling, I definitely think there's a wide advantage for Burns if he chooses to take it there. So plus 136, give me Gilbert Burns. I bet it already. I got the underdog, veteran lesson, and there's some finishing upside as well with Gilbert. So I am concerned a little bit with the gas, and if Jack kind of just outlasts him and starts to take over as the fight goes in the striking. But I think Gilbert's, smart and veteran enough. The guys he's lost to, usually I don't think Jack ends up getting the finish either. So, I like Gilbert in this spot. Lou.
Okay, so finally we have a disagreement. So I love the under, huge, at minus 150. I think that you get a lot of the win equity for both guys. I think if you think Burns has success on the ground, look, it's a hot take. I think Burns is better on the ground than Basil Hafez. I feel strongly about this take.
Yeah, wow.
I just caught fire. That take was so hot, dude.
Jeez.
And now look, do I think Della Maddalena is going to put himself in bad spots in terms of shooting? Is he going to Cody with guillotines here? No, I don't. I don't think it'll matter though. Can Burns hold him down is the question. Dude, I mean, we know how good Burns is, but I kind of feel like Della Maddalena is he's improving. His takedown defense isn't horrible. His get up game's not horrible. This is obviously the best guy he's fought by leaps and bounds in that regard. And he might get vet lesson, like you're saying, which is why I love the under more than anything else, because the under is the same price as Maddalena. So for me, I'm getting Maddalena knocking Burns out with repeated shots to the body, where I'm getting Burns just taking him down and subbing him. As far as the side, I'm going to pick Jack Della. I know this is I just call it a gut feeling that this card is setting up a lot of veterans against a lot of younger guys in their prime. And I kind of feel I just, my gut tells me, not technically, my gut tells me that Jack Della just kind of gets to him and gets to that chin and like knocks him out. Not a super strong take. I love the under though. Like I love it. I think it's 80% of my win equity is the under here.
Yeah.
And who do you think? And if it's a decision, you'd have to favor that Burns. Like I don't know that JDM.
In Miami?
I don't even care where it is. I don't think that JDM has decision equity here. I think that Burns has. I think Burns has like all decision equity because he won minutes and he controlled them. Because if this is 15 minutes, like if JDM's stuffing takedowns and it's 15 minutes on the feet, I gotta think Madalena's knocked them out like well before the 15-minute mark.
Yeah, 2 cents.
I actually love that under. I did bet Burns. I got him at plus 130 on the when it started to come back down, but it's not my most confident bet. It's the last one that I made, and yeah, I see 2 scenarios that I feel are both like equally likely. One is like Lou said, like Burns gets starched, and the other one is like a club and sub by Gilbert. Man, he sat Chimaev on his ass. He sat Usman on his ass, and he ended up losing those fights. But man, he has had so much more experience against such a high level of competition. As crazy as it sounds, it's a step down for him. So yeah, I couldn't pass up on the plus money either. It was one that I was just like, no, don't do it. And then it's just like, it just wore me down. Like the line got a little bit juicier and I was like, God damn it. I even tried to get Aaron to talk me out of it, talk me down off the cliff. And he was like, nah, dude, just jump. It'll be fun. I was like, all right. So here we riding with Gilbert, dude. So we fucking, yeah, we gonna ride it Dawn. But yeah, man, I get it. And like Lou was saying, that it is interesting. So it's either going to be some vet lessons or some like breaking out parties for these prospects here. So we'll see what happens.
I agree. Well said. Third from the top, we're at Kevin Holland, Michael Venom Page's UFC debut at 21-2 and 36, nearly 37 years old. 6 foot. Both these guys 6'3", basically the same reach. So I do think Kevin Holland's the bigger of the two of these guys. However, I mean, I make a living fading Kevin Holland, but that's when the guy has wrestling upside. In this spot, if anything, I hear some people calling out that Kevin will choose to wrestle, which would obviously be the smart thing to do. His jiu-jitsu has to be 10 times as good. Just the win recipe is there for Kevin Holland. And it's not to just stand in front of Michael Venom Page and trade and, kind of have a low volume affair where it's just the more impactful or maybe flashy strikes that end up winning the fight, along with some leg kicks with Kevin's skinny legs. I don't trust Kevin Holland. I don't really trust MVP either, but fuck it. I'm trusting MVP here. So MVP ends up just kind of, getting Kevin Holland to want to put on a show, and they're like hugging each other going into the third round probably. And like holding each other's hands up, and Kevin's like, I don't even care if I won. You guys like the show I put on? And then, Kevin Holland fights next week against Mearshart on a day's notice or something. 2 cents. But MVP is my pick, and probably goes to a decision. I don't like either one of these guys, if I'm being honest.
Dude, I'm super biased here. I've been a Kevin Holland fan for a while, but he's definitely a knucklehead and has cost me money before. I've gotten way too involved in Kevin Holland from a betting standpoint, but even for a little fucking piker like me. But still, I really have a bias against MVP as well. I've never liked him. This is going back years, man. I've always thought he was a can crusher and just a cocky fucker. And it's always kind of turned me off. And anytime he gets his chin even close to touch, man, he really doesn't respond well to it. Like Daly almost knocked him out. Lima slumped him. And I think he's kind of got some fraudulent tendencies too. Like he really is a fucking can crusher. And it would not surprise me at all if Kevin just starched him. Kevin Holland is still really fast and dangerous on the feet. And Yeah, man. Like, I don't know. I'm picking Holland here. I don't like it, and I can't bet on him, man. Like, I'm tempted to. The money line is tempting to parlay, but yeah, give me Kev. But nah, he'll probably lose a fucking split decision. Fucking piss me off. But yeah, give me Holland.
I get it. Lou, what's your thoughts on this one?
I didn't realize I had my camera. Fuck me with this fight, dude. Like, I love Holland, man. He's like my type of fucking retard. Like, he's such an idiot. He's so dumb.
Yes.
But I love him, dude.
He's fucking funny, dude. He's really funny and charismatic.
Dude, like, he solves crimes all over the fucking country. He's like stopping armed robberies at Wendy's. He's Batman. So, first of all, if you have BetMGM, I don't care what the prop is. You must bet Holland by Darth Choke for $5. You have to, dude. Dude, he is basically a WWE guy who's like, I have a finisher and I'm damned if I don't hit it. His finisher is the Darth Choke. Like, it's like Hogan's leg drop. He's never winning without hitting it. Dude, it's gonna be what, 35-1 for the Darth? It's worth Look, it's worth $5. Like, right? It has to be. Because you know he's going to go for it. Now, look, so my bet is MVP if I have to bet. And the reason is there's this myth that, well, Holland has a grappling path. No, Holland does not have a grappling path. First of all, he won't. And second of all, dude, Logan Storley wasn't like, was Logan Storley having it all his way grappling with Paige? No, dude. Logan Storley would like chuck Holland on the ground for like relentlessly. There's no grappling path here for Holland. Like, let's get this bullshit myth out of the way. There's no grappling path. It's 15 minutes on the feet. So here's my question, and I don't like this whole MMA math, but I think it's fitting. Aaron, how do you line MVP against Wonder Boy? I would line MVP like minus 140, 150. Like, he's a favorite, right?
I'd say Wonder Boy probably is still.
Now or what? Or like MVP? Like MVP is no spring chicken, dude.
I mean, like
just 1 year ago.
minus 120 Wonder Boy.
How old is MVP right now?
Okay, hold on. You said minus 120 Wonder Boy, right?
Yeah.
Then why is Holland a bigger? That's my point.
I have no idea.
Then Holland, I'm saying, just from like a betting perspective, Holland shouldn't be a bigger favorite over a guy who, like, yes, him and Wonder Boy are not the same fighter. I got it. But, like, dude, I think MVP gets shit on, like, way too much. Like, yeah, some of his fights are boring. Like,
you know who else gets shit on too much? Kevin Holland.
Oh, please.
He does, man. He's not nearly as bad a fighter as people try and make him out to be. And MVP is not nearly as good of a fighter as he's made out to be because he does nothing but can crush. Who's his best win, man? Seriously, who's MVP's best win?
I wish I had the name from.
But you don't even fucking know because it's a fucking nobody because he's a fucking can crusher.
Yeah, I was gonna do whoever the doctor was from Anchorman, like Shirley Sugarberg. Yes, he called. You're pregnant.
Split over Lima. Like Lima's kind of a
Paul Daly.
Rod too.
Paul Daly's probably his best win.
Yeah, Semtex, man. Like.
And Paul Daly, you know what Paul Daly did that whole fight? Went for takedowns. Like Paul Daly's like, I don't want to strike with you, which is weird. So that was like the worst fight ever. That Paul Daly fight. Look,
terrible fight.
This is like as simple as I take the dog because it's like it's another fucking split decision, dude. Like, because and my buddy was like, you have to take the under, right? I'm like, over 2.5 minus 180 is like really safe.
How would you line Lou? How would you line MVP versus Jack Della?
MVP's got to be like small favorite. Small. 130, 140. That's how I would line it.
Yeah.
There's no threat of any grappling in that fight. Right. But I'm saying is, look, I'm not betting this fight. I'm rooting for Holland. And I wish if Holland was like plus money here, I would hammer it. Because I think whoever's the dog is like the bet. I just think that's like it makes sense for that kind of fight.
It's fair because it'll probably go to decision, but yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if Kev knocks him out. Like I feel like the grappling is, I get it. Like, I don't think there's going to be a lot of grappling, but man, this is one of the fighters that or one of the fights where MVP doesn't have this like crazy reach advantage or crazy striking advantage. Like, Kevin Holland is a good striker. And a lot of times when Kevin Holland gets beat, he's getting like out grappled, sans Wonderboy. And he almost knocked Wonderboy out, dude. And MVP is old too.
He should have finished.
MVP is old too, man. Kev is the younger fighter here.
I'm just saying I'm saying you have to small poke Holland by Darce. Like,
I don't think Holland inside the distance is a bad poke either, honestly.
If the Darce choke is at worst 30-1, I think you have to. I think you have to bet it. You know he's gonna go for it.
I mean, he is the better grappler.
He's gonna go for it once in this fight. You have to bet it at 30-1.
He's certainly the better grappler. And MVP
he
doesn't
to win by Darce, dude. He wants to win that way.
MVP doesn't have a crazy speed advantage here either. Just saying.
Or volume.
And he's not an MVP. He's not an MVP of anything. He's not even the MVP of my neighborhood. My neighborhood's a bunch of bums.
No, I don't really like either fighter, if I'm being honest, but I'll take Page.
Well, that's because you're racist.
Plus 110. You caught me. Co-main event time.
Aaron's probably the least racist on this panel.
Yeah, it's facts.
Dude, I'm not racist. I just hate Chinamen.
Okay.
Case in point.
Co-main event time. 5-round fight here at lightweight. Dustin Poirier talking retirement, talking about not bringing his kids, everything else. I'm going to kind of ignore it. I feel like it's narrative here because it's just part of the Dustin Poirier experience over the last few years. He's been talking about leaving and he doesn't. Taking on Benoit Saint Denis. I think that if Saint Denis is smart, he goes to focus on a pretty grappling-centric game plan rather than trying to put on like a fight of the night performance and go, blow for blow with Dustin. I feel like he's not going to be smart. I think Dustin has the striking advantage as well as the movement advantage and speed still. I'm not buying fully into Benoit Saint Denis yet. I haven't seen him in 5 rounds. I know he has some 5-round experience outside of the octagon. You got to show it to me inside the octagon, and I'm not ready to write off Dustin yet. So I got Mr. Poirier in this spot, and I got him putting away Benoit Saint Denis with a round 3 TKO. So he does something Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos could not do. But I think it's going to be a good fight. Lou, what do you think?
There's no logic here. Saint Denis is just going to murder this fucker. And there's no breakdown to give you. Poirier is better everywhere. Better experience, better skill set on the feet, probably better on the ground. It doesn't matter. This is just, I forget who said it this week. This is the one thing I agree with. It's like betting DDP. There's no rhyme or reason why he wins. He's just going to fucking win. He's going to fucking DDP the shit out of people and win. And I sort of feel like this is the fight where Saint Denis wins. And this is the fight that gets him to Makhachev. And then, like, it's whatever. And then Makhachev's going to be, like, minus 190. And I'm going to throw, like every money I've ever made in my life on Makhachev in that fight. At, like, anything lower than minus 200. Like, every penny. Like, I just kind of feel like this is... And, like, this... You saying it's all smoke, the shit that Poirier is saying. Dude... I don't think it's. I don't 100% agree that it's just smoke. I kind of think it's like, yep, I'm getting paid a fuck ton of money. Let's go. I think after that Gaethje fight, he knows it's just there's no path anymore. There's no path to a title shot. There's no path to a title for him going forward. There's none. It's done. It's over. No path anymore. So this is just cash grab city, and I think Saint Denis just. Like French, he gives the French their first victory in a war ever. Also, hate the French.
All right. 2 cents. Are you with me on Dustin in his hometown fight, essentially?
Oh, brother, you already know that I am. So I bet old Dusty a little earlier. Of course, I missed the peak, the crest of the wave. But I got him at plus 164. I was kind of on the Poirier side when they originally announced this fight, and he opened, I think it was like a plus 125 or something, opened a slight dog. But yeah, I would be lying to you if I didn't like slightly more side with Lou. I'll split the difference and say that I think that he is close to the end, but that's kind of it too. Like it's obvious that he's close to the end, right? Like he's not going to be fighting for another 5 years, but I don't think that necessarily means that he's done, like he's retiring. And honestly, it wouldn't stun me if he whoops St. Denis' ass and retired and goes out like fucking Robert Glenn Lawler, who's one of my heroes. But I'll just say this, man. I do think that there's potential that like Dustin has 1 foot out the door and Benoit, you know, he has all the upside. But dude, this ain't exactly like DDP either, because DDP ain't get his ass whooped by fucking Elizeu Zaleski. And Benoit has not only looked sketchy in that fight, but dude, Thiago Moises was kind of fucking tuning him a little bit and kind of wobbled him, man. If that's Dusty, he gonna put hands on you. So yeah, give me Dusty as a dog here. If he loses, I'll probably deserve it. It'll be fucking karma for all the fucking shit I've talked about Dustin Poirier over the years, but you know, it's still fucking Gaethje's still my dude. So anyways, dude, I stand on it, but nah, man, I'm not going to be that selfish. If he wins or loses, it's because, you know, he's either the better or worse fighter. I get the special forces badassery and the God of War thing, but like, again, like inside the octagon, he has moments where he ain't looking like no fucking God of War. The God of War doesn't lose to an old Elizeu Zaleski. So yeah, man, I think Poirier is the better fighter, and I think I love that 3rd round, man, and that's gonna be my official pick. Dustin Poirier 3rd round knockout.
I like it. Plus 170 to Dusty minus 2.
Sorry, not to cut you off and not to go on, but that's the other thing I'm kind of wondering too. Is yeah, this thing about Dustin's retirement, that's kind of been circulating for the last couple of days, but the line peaked at plus 185 and money has come in on Dustin since then. And I'm wondering what that is. And also that fucking Benoit looks like he's got some fucking necrotizing fasciitis on his forehead, some fucking Eli Ross cabin fever going on. He looks like he might have a staph infection. So that maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know, but yeah, come on, Dusty.
Yep, I like it.
It's just more. It's a muscle that he's evolved. We don't have that muscle.
Yeah, it's a decent co-main event. It's not the best co-main event, if I'm being honest.
It's a fun fight, dude.
You better not gas against Dustin Poirier. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, it's a fun fight. Main event: Sean O'Malley, Chito Vera 2. Chito. I'll just make it kind of short with this one. First fight ended with the injury. Chito was looking like he was going to get frustrated by the movement and volume and reach of his opponent. I think this is kind of a nightmare matchup for Chito. He did not look good at all against Pedro Munoz to me. Did not look good at all against Corey Sandhagen. And I'm just not very sold that Chito Vera has much of a chance in this fight, unfortunately. I want to get there. I'm a huge Chito fan. I have been for a long time. I'll be rooting for him in this fight. I'll hope I'm wrong. I'm not going to be betting Sean O'Malley at this price or Sean O'Malley in general anyways, but I do think that this is pretty perfectly set up for Sean O'Malley to kind of just frustrate Chito, most likely get a finish somewhere inside the distance. But I just don't think Chito is able to execute the Rob Font game plan here. I think the defense of Sean O'Malley is too good. And I think the footwork is with Sean O'Malley. I just don't think Chito has much of a chance here. So I got to go with Sean here, and I'll go with Sean probably by 3rd round or later TKO, but I think he gets it finished before the end of the bell. So I'll take Sean. Lou.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, and I hate it. I'm not going to bet this fight. O'Malley at 270 is, I don't know. I don't love it. There's a myth that O'Malley, he's never fought 5 rounds, and Chito has. And I know, like, he was battering the fuck out of Matinho. but that was 230 strikes thrown in that fight, and he never at one point looked fatigued. He was fresh as a fucking daisy, and all O'Malley did was throw relentlessly for 15 minutes. I don't think 25 minutes matters here. I think he's not going to throw 230 strikes. He's probably not going to have to, because he's going to land whatever he wants, because Vera takes off the first 2 rounds every fucking 5-round fight. So you're spotting me 2 rounds. Am I convinced Vera can win 3 straight rounds against O'Malley? No, I'm not at all. Because O'Malley's like good at distance management. Dude, his jab's good. Like, he's going to land his jab every time. And like, look, let's be honest, man. If this thing goes the distance, you think it's going to be a KO, but let's say it goes the distance. Honestly, man, in what world does fucking Vera, like, unless he wins every fucking round, dude, in what fucking world does Vera win this, like, decision? He doesn't, man. You know they want, look, you can say whatever the fuck you want, narratives and shit like that, but like, come on, dude. They want O'Malley to be the champ. Like, and we're getting O'Malley Marab at like, who knows, dude. And that's probably when O'Malley's run just is over. Unfortunately. Not unfortunately, but like, that's probably, but that's the match that's like the best. What's the biggest money match they have in this weight class? It's gotta be, right?
Yeah.
There you go, dude.
Fair enough. 2 cents. What's your thoughts on this main event?
I want nothing to do with this fight, but I actually kind of somewhat excited about it. Obviously, I'm not as up for it as I am like Song or Jan or Dusty Benoit, Dusty Benoit, or like even Michelle Osage. Like, I'm a little more excited for those fights, but yeah, man, I'm kind of with Lou. I don't really know if Chito can afford to be a heavy bag against O'Malley early either, man. Like, Sean will sit down on his power early too, and Chito is a fucking punching bag. He will just sit there and get lit up, and I think he might want to prove how fucking. I think he's a tough guy. He's a fucking tough guy when he gets in there, and I think he might want to try and prove that he's a big fucking tough guy. And if if he just stand there trying to box, you think you're a fucking tough guy against O'Malley, like, he'll tune you up, Bobo. He's got the better hands, and he's quicker, and I think that while Chito did go on a good run, I think he kind of hit the crest of his wave, and I think that O'Malley has been getting a little bit better, whereas Chito has plateaued, maybe even gotten a little worse, like Aaron was saying. Like, those fights against Sandhagen and
the Munoz fight was bad.
Yeah, the Munoz fight looked bad too, man. I don't know, man. I think Sean tunes him up, and I think there's a possibility he can knock him out. But yeah, I'll say O'Malley decision, but I don't trust him either. Like, Chito could, if he's smart, like, I don't know, go to the grappling, mix it up, leg kicks again. I still don't know if O'Malley is like still a super durable fighter as far as like his limbs and not getting injured. Like, I don't mean like he's chinny, but like, his body. So that's why I don't want to bet him. And especially, man, parlaying something like that, getting close to minus 300 in the main event, like, you just asking for trouble. So yeah, I'm actually going to listen to my dude Big Show this time and not bet the main event. And just quit while I'm ahead.
Can I ask you,
boy wins. So
can I ask you just a general betting question?
No, you can't ask me a fucking thing. You reprobate. I'm just kidding. What's up?
What the fuck you call me? So these, like, in general, if you have a dog that looks appealing, like Vera, like, because I think if you just like blindly look at, like, your first reaction when you look at the line is like, I feel like as soon as you,
I was tempted, man.
Of course, because you look at it, you're like, So my question,
he's a good fighter. Like, he's a good fighter plus whatever, like plus 2 something. It's like, holy shit.
So my question to both of you is, how appealing does it get when, like, your next thought is he's never going to win the first round of any fight he's in, and now it comes down to like, can he win 3 or 4 rounds against the guy where he really has to win 4 out of 4 rounds because they're going to rig the shit out of this. Like, and that's where, like, you look at this line, you're like, I get it now. Now I get it. Like, honestly, I think if you bet Chito, I think you have to bet like the finish. I honestly, I don't know how he wins the decision.
No.
You're mentioning the grappling, but like, has Chito ever proven he's willing to do it for like 15 to 20 minutes? Like, no, dude. He might mix them in, But like we've seen, even like mixing one in at the end of a round, you don't steal a round anymore, dude. The judges don't let you do it unless he takes him down and like fucking mounts him and lands like 30 shots. They're not going to give him a round for getting a takedown. Like,
dude, I'm telling you, I think he might be trying to prove that first one wasn't a fluke and be like, no, I'm going to go out there and knock Sean out. And man, he is going to get tooled up.
Well, if he doesn't go for a leg, if he doesn't go for a leg kick in the first 5 seconds, I'd be shocked.
He's gonna litter Sean with leg kicks.
He's gonna throw 100 leg kicks in this fight, and I kind of think he's gonna land like maybe one. I think O'Malley's gonna be like, literally know what he's doing.
I mean, Rob Font.
I'm no like big Sean O'Malley guy, dude. Like, I'm not. Like, I think Merab's like, dude, Merab's fucking hilarious. Like, he's like underrated, funny. He's not exciting, but like, man, Merab's just like. Merab's going to be minus 250 when he fights O'Malley. If he's minus 250, it's a smash.
Dude, Rob Font hung like 100, almost 200 strikes on Chito. If Sean O'Malley does that, I'm not 100% convinced that Chito's not going to get knocked out. I know that he's tough, but you can't just sit there and fucking get cracked on the chin by O'Malley. Like he is a sharp boxer, and those.
But what if O'Malley's up? What if O'Malley's up 3-0, and he's like, "Cool, I'm content to just jab him." Like he may not proactively go for it.
Right.
He may know. He's like, okay, dude, I just got to avoid getting kicked and like staying out of problems. And like,
that's true.
And I bet his takedown defense is like dude, he's young and he's working on his takedown defense. Like dude, like how much did he train for takedown defense against Sterling? Like he's working on it. Like he's going to improve. I don't think Vera's going to show him takedowns that he's never seen. Merab is a different fucking thing, but I don't think that Vera doesn't have like these great entries that O'Malley's going to be like, oh no.
I mean, dude, Chito's talked a lot of shit about O'Malley. He better not be a dusty bitch, as my dude Jackie Boy would say, and go for takedowns. He better fucking be a man and stand there and fight O'Malley. He called him a farget before, so it's like, you better not be a pussy. You better stand there and trade with O'Malley for 25 if you're the tough guy that you fucking think you are.
And I think he will. Aaron, you think so too? Right?
Yeah, of course. Like
he's gonna be like, no, let's man this up and like.
I think one thing that's funny is like everybody I feel like thinks Chito's way older than O'Malley. But it's like 1 year and a half age difference here. So.
But he's like 10 years of damage ahead of O'Malley. Like,
yeah, you're right.
Dude,
yeah.
Bernard Hopkins was like 45, and he had taken no damage except for like when he was my cellmate. So like, well, motherfucker stealing my ramen. He needs to like get got.
Yeah, easy B-hop. All right. So we'll do some closing thoughts. Get to Lou's favorite part, which is Zhang Li, which, as he knows, hit last week for plus 7,000. So
let's fucking go.
Sure, Lou participate in the Zhang Li as always because he's not too good for a
all I do is make parlays. That's it.
5-piece money line parlay here. But this week we got Felipe Lins, Michelle Pereira, and Jalton Almeida making it from Mateus Gamrot making it from the prelims. So those 4, and then Gilbert Burns from the main card. So again, Lins, Pereira, Gamrot, Almeida, and Burns is the Zhang Li this week. Pays out at plus 17.25 as of recording of the program. So little Zhang Li there. Any final thoughts, Lou, before we take off? Good to see you as always.
That's really nice odds in that parlay, by the way. And I would also, not that I am the Zhang Li parlay expert, but all the ones but Gamrot, that's a nice round robin too, because you're getting like all lines that are like under minus 150. So like that's a nice little way to play that too.
A little slice.
Prop show tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. with Pepe Sylvia and Big Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Midnight show. And then when we're off the air, I'll tell you too my devious plan, my hilarious, ridiculous next thing I'm doing on Twitter.
Can't wait. 2 cents. Final thoughts. Final words.
Well, first and foremost, thank you as always for having me. This is always a blast and an honor to be co-hosting with you. And Lou, all jokes aside, I know my little running gag about, keep Monk safe and all that. I mean, I still want to keep Monk safe, but I truly do hope you get back on fucking Twitter. Elon, come on. It's enough is enough. We've had our fun. I think you can let Lou go now, but nah, man, let him out. He's the man's done his time. And yeah, I think it's time. So yeah, I finally, I'll say free Lou Betcha. I'll come back around. But nah, man, let's fucking go, John Lee. Aaron, thanks again. Lou, best of luck, boys. The chat, as always, best of luck. And yeah, I will. I'm still on hiatus. I'm moving and shit. But yeah, man, I'll be around. Gonna do another locker room talk with the boys tomorrow. But nah, man, let's fucking go, John Lee. And God, Scamrod, Jesus Christ, he better fucking win. That motherfucker better win.
Yeah, minus 500 Scamrod if he blows to John Lee.
I find it hard to believe he's gonna lose. Honestly.
Yeah. Exactly. At the end of the day, I had Macy Barber in there at one point. I had Marina Morose, and I was just like, this is a fifth leg of a money line parlay. Gamrot can make a little whatever. So it is what it is. But thank you both for being here as always. We'll be back next week with whatever shitty ass fight night card there is. Aaron the pup will be back, I should say, with just my 2 cents because the dog is off until 300. But Aaron the pup will be back next week. Lou, great to have you on, and definitely we'll be checking out your prop show tomorrow. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, 2 cents. Appreciate you, chat. Peace out, everybody. Good night.